Last night was my final Friday Night Tights, and it's time for the truth to come out. I'm sick and tired of holding it in. Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Last night was my final show as a co-host of Friday Night Tights. It seemed to come very abruptly indeed, and it's time to tell you exactly what is going on. So let me show you how it went down on the episode itself.
So we have some quick announcements, real quick before we get to soups. Let's start with the big one. Az.
You're gay. Oh.
Az is gay.
Now, before I continue, you can see that I am looking down at my phone during this opening segment. That is because I'm actually in current contact with my lawyer based off what Gary is going to say for this announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my final Friday Night Tights.
Oh.
After 4 years, 3 months, 4 months, as the only person who does this show on a Friday night, I've this week going out on a hike, and it's quite poetic actually, because when I first ever appearance on this show was with Critical Drinker. I was actually a guest with Critical Drinker, and so it's pretty apt that. I know. Don't get emotional. Well, it's all right, man. Look, he even took his glasses off for that moment.
Big deal.
So it just felt, it's kind of poetic. I didn't just see Drinker on today. When Gary, Drinker's on, that's it. I'm done.
I said okay.
Anyway, I don't give a fuck. So yeah, but I might, who knows? I could be returning as a guest at one point in the future or whatnot, or if I decide that the UK is getting so bad that I come across to Texas, then if the time zones are better. So as you heard, I joked with Gary that because Drinker was on and I was on with Drinker the very first time, it was time to call it quits. And Gary just went, "Yeah, okay, do it, yeah." Okay. Enough mucking about. Enough stupidity. Let's just call it how it is now, shall we? I'd actually told Gary that I was going to be leaving FNT a few weeks ago. I'll be leaving at the end of June, and Gary asked me earlier this week if I'd be able to stay on until the end of July, and I tried to work some things around, but I do legitimately have IRL things in place and was unable to do it. But he wanted me to think about it until the show, and so I did contact Gary yesterday at the beginning of the day to say I can't, unfortunately I will not be able to stay on to the end of July. So that made the announcement last night come across as a bit rushed. Gary's like, well, I haven't been able to put anything in place to say goodbye to you. I didn't want that anyway. I didn't want any of bells and whistles. I'm just a co-host on FNT, for goodness sake. So it just came across the way it did, a little bit abrupt and whatnot. But that is just because we are all so incompetent and get way too much credit for our own good. Being from the UK and not New Zealand or Papua New Guinea or somewhere, I don't know, wherever you want to put me, the hours of the show tend to be from 9 p.m. onwards, and the vast majority of FNT has actually been later than that, going much later into the morning. And so over 4 years of that kind of schedule, while trying to maintain a regular British schedule, it just kind of got to the point where I felt I needed to rest. I needed to recoup and step away. And I hope people do legitimately appreciate that. 4 years, 4 months or something along those lines on the show. I've never had so much fun than to do the show with the people that I do it with. Gary is 100% my brother from another mother. He really truly is. I will be doing Real BBC with him every week, not stepping away from any other shows at all. Ripping a Silverback, fine. Afternoon Tea with Az, fine. Sunday Fun Day, fine. All those hours are much more conducive to me, and I can't thank Gary enough for letting me onto his show and allowing me to stay there and rant and rave and interrupt and all the other kind of things that I did for that period of time. He's a wonderful, wonderful man, and I do class him as such a legitimate good friend. I am eternally grateful for what he's done for me. My other co-hosts have been an absolute pleasure to stream with. They are so knowledgeable, passionate, and it is such a good feeling to connect with people that are so legitimately interested in our franchises, in our stories, in quality. They're brave enough to make their own content and to speak up and out against this corporate bullshit, which is ruining them, because corporation owning a franchise does not make a franchise better. Far from it, as we've seen from all the ones which have fallen by the wayside. So Jeremy, Ryan, Chad, Comics, Odin, Chrissy, QBG, X-Ray Girl. Oh my god, if I've forgotten somebody, I'm gonna kick myself. They have been an absolute pleasure to stream with as well. I love them all, I truly do. You can't do a show for 4 and a bit years with a group of people that you don't connect with, that you don't get on with, and have such good chemistry and put out, I think, the shows which we put out for FNT, which were damn good, if I dare say so myself. And of course, the best thing about Friday Night Tights is the audience that watch the show. Me stepping away is not going to change that in any way, shape, or form. In fact, I'll most likely be forgotten about in a couple of weeks. And I'm more than happy with that, because the show itself is a juggernaut because of the people who are currently on it. And with Disbrew now going to be joining the cast as a co-host, I couldn't think of a better replacement. Legitimately, he's British, he's funny, he's exceedingly knowledgeable, he brings so much to the table, he's gonna fit in there absolutely magnificently. And if I find myself with some time and the ability to flick on the TV on a Friday night, I think I'll be more than happy to tune into the show and see what an amazing platform it truly is from outside looking in. So huge thank you to the audience who have cheered me on. Massive thank you to the audience that has just tolerated me, and an even bigger thank you probably to the audience that doesn't even like me, but the power of the other people on the show was more than enough for them to tune in regardless of my presence there. So to all of you, thank you so much indeed for showing all the love that you have over the course of this last 4.5 odd years or so. But as you smashed the Friday Night Tights mug just so you could do a clickbait thumbnail for this video, well, that's not actually how it went down. I was recording a video for a friend. Well, let me show you. This is actually what happened. Thank you very much indeed for the feedback on that. I don't know how it, as a first step, the mug missed. The mug missed the countertop. Oh, well. It was an FNT mug as well. How ironic is that? I have 2 of those, so it's okay. I still got one, but oopsie doopsie. Yeah, I'm just really clumsy when I'm carrying 3 mugs at the same time, talking into a phone and trying to place them on a side counter. Whoops, one of them missed, but provided itself with the perfect opportunity for a clickbait thumbnail. So TLDR, after nearly 4.5 years of doing this wonderful show and messing up my sleeping pattern on a weekly basis and getting very tired in the process, I've decided it's time to step away and try and repair these things. That in itself will allow me to be more productive on my own channel, produce more videos for you, allow me to do more video game streams for you, and I think it was a necessary sacrifice. My tour of duty has been done, and I wish the guys and gals there nothing but absolute success, which they've already achieved and will continue to do so. So I thought it best to come from the horse's mouth. You know, the internet's got a bunch of silly billies that want to try and turn things into things that they are not. Thank you so much indeed, everybody who maybe just watches Friday Night Tights, for all your support over my period of time being there. Thank you everyone indeed for the continued support on this channel. I can't thank you enough. I'll be on Gary's channel on Tuesday for the real BBC. Until then, you take care. Bye for now.